And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the 2026 GSL Season 2 Round of 12 Group A. We just wrapped up with our first series with Cure versus SOS. Cure coming out on top here, coming into and advancing on into the winner's match. But now we're here to determine who will join Cure in that winner's match. Will it be SHIN? Will it be ByuN? Will it be a Terran? Will it be a Zerg? Here we go. Here we go. We have a fresh best of 3 getting ready for us here. It's going to be a spicy one. I will say that SOS, he's maybe the dark horse of the group for sure, and I do hope that he's able to have a good showing when it comes to his upcoming matches. Meanwhile, when it comes to ByuN versus SHIN, I do think that this is going to be a closer match. I do think this is going to be a closer match, a closer series. SHIN, of course, he did make it all the way to the grand finals of GSL Season 1, showcasing his ZVT prowess. If you recall, we were casting SHIN versus Maru in the semifinals, and we were trying to emphasize, we'll get into it, we're trying to emphasize SHIN's ZVT. Meanwhile, what is ByuN's quote? Chicken dinner for me today. Let's go. As we have his most recent performances here last season, in the last season of GSL Season 1 2026, got to the top 8, got to the round of 8. That is where ByuN's run did end. We'll see if ByuN can outperform himself this time and reach into not just the round of 8 but even the round of 4 this time, or even further than that. We'll see if ByuN can exceed his previous performances. Meanwhile, SHIN coming in with his own quote as well. I like the rain, so today I think I'll win. I'm assuming it's raining in Korea right now, and then that's the reference there. But of course, SHIN, he is the most recent runner-up of GSL Season 1. He got 2nd place, beating Maru in that tournament. Now, once again, it is important that we discuss his ZVT. He's very unique, very unique when it comes to ZVT, and he was able to dominate Maru and all the other Terrans ahead of him. We'll see if ByuN and the other Terrans have been able to learn from his style and adapt and respond, and we'll see what he has learned from his performances so far throughout the year of StarCraft. Oh boy. So again, when it comes to SHIN's style, he's very fond of roach heavy play, very fond of early lair tech, early roach tech, into a safer mid game, in towards ultras. That's typically kind of like SHIN's direction. It's a very safe way of playing as well, by relying on early roaches, but we'll get into it as we're loading the game number 1. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player for Shelfire Rebellion. It is ByuN. And in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. It is SHIN, the runner-up of GSL. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome one and all. Welcome to Tourmaline, one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Very quickly, we have the head-to-head here with offline events, ByuN having a lead over SHIN, and online, ByuN also having a lead over SHIN as well. But this is also why I don't really give a lot of weight to these stats, these statistics, or to like a League Act, for example. A lot of that relies on historical data, when what's important is current data. What's important is current form more so than historical form. I would say coming into this, SHIN is favored based off of his recent performances, and again his recent prowess in ZVT specifically. I said at the time that SHIN, in my mind, his weakest matchup is ZVP. We saw that he did play it out versus Hero. I will say that SHIN's strongest matchup is, you know, a mix between his ZVT and ZVZ. Like, that's where he does typically thrive. But once again, though, SHIN is he's very roach heavy. He's very roach heavy typically. Very safe when it comes to the mid game. Here, SHIN does go for a hatch pull opener though. Okay, SHIN going for delayed gas. This leads into what I was just saying, actually. So typically when you go for late gases, that means you're going for delayed link speed, and that means you're going into either early lair tech or early roach tech, one or the other. That's typically the go-to here for SHIN, off of a delayed gas geyser. For now though, ByuN does go for his own rack expand, a standard economic opener here out of ByuN. We'll see where SHIN takes us. ByuN is opening up. Oh, un momento. Go. From here, ByuN, he typically thrives in the mid game. Like in the mid game, he's typically very aggressive with his stay with us, ByuN. There's a big yawn there to ByuN. Yes, the ByuN. He's sleepy, papi, sleepy. It's early. True. It's early. As Reaper is going to be deflected, and ByuN, he confirms no third base, right? So as we mentioned before, like, it's very intentional that this late third base here by SHIN. He's playing a little more 2-base heavy, which is SHIN's go-to. ByuN, meanwhile, going for his faster TC. Economic follow-up out of ByuN. SHIN has all that gas. He has more than 100. You can see the observer point out the fact that there is no link speed, which again we did assume. As soon as we saw late gas, that means no link speed. And again, we're waiting for either a lair or a roach warren. One or the other. So now SHIN is running up. There it is, fast lair. It's going to be a 3:06 or 3:05 lair timing, so a very early lair here by SHIN. And with that fast lair, that can be one of two things. I mean, one of three things, really. This could be either 2-base Muta, 2-base Roach, or 2-base Hydra. You might be thinking, 2-base Hydra? Well, what? Is that a thing? Yes, if you've been watching StarCraft over the last 3 months, both SHIN, Rogue, and Solar have been embracing fast lair into fast Hydra tech in ZVT. But we can see that SHIN throws down the Roach Warren. I believe the Roach Warren is hidden behind the natural. So SHIN is going into roaches. Now, because this lair is so quick, that means that roach speed is going to be very fast as well. Really fast roach speed. So there's going to be a timing, there's going to be a window where SHIN can hit with roach speed and with the first +1 upgrade very quickly. Not saying that he has to go for an all-in to hit with that timing, but I am saying that that timing is going to be available. Right? It's going to be available here for SHIN to make use of if he wishes. Meanwhile, we can see that ByuN's going for his 3cc Banshee. Very safe play here by ByuN. I do like this, especially because SHIN he's very, very roach heavy in his play. I do think that playing Banshees is just a very safe way to play against SHIN. Very, very safe. It's going to be +1 carapace. Again, that will help out the, all things Zerg. Roaches are amassing. SHIN is going to be cutting workers here at 47. So 47 workers now is making roaches. Now the question becomes, does SHIN all in, or does he make a wave of roaches, try to scare ByuN with it, apply some pressure, and then drone up behind it? Speaking of, you can see that drone production has begun. So it looks like SHIN is not going for the all in. But ideally, he wants to make it look like an all in. Like that's where typically SHIN thrives, is with that ambiguity. Because he's willing to all in, but here he is not. You can see now rushing into the Visation bit. That should be for safety infestors, for hive tech, for ultras. As we mentioned at the very beginning of the series, SHIN is very, very, very fond of going roach into ultra. That is his bread and butter in ZVT. ByuN does peg forward. Pegs forward. SHIN has his roaches. He should be revealing this soon. And the 8 roaches are. It looks like SHIN, it was just safety roaches. Looks like he is not going to apply any pressure with them. Staying more defensive. They're the safety infestors, as you mentioned. The reason why you need these infestors is because SHIN has no banelings. So without banelings, roaches will just be annihilated by heavy marine armies. So you do need that support in the form of fungal growth. As ByuN does move out. He does have stim. Raven with the main army as well. Love to see it. Clearing up all this creep. Fungus are ready. And ByuN does see the infestor. He does see. Sees, he knows. Nice cleanup here. Catching out 4 tumors. Nice cleanup out of ByuN. Hive has begun. Jesus. So rushing into the hive. As I mentioned before, again, we're rushing into Ultra Tech. That is the big win condition. That's the power spike for SHIN. If he can get there, he can dominate. And right now, the pressure's on ByuN to apply pressure and to make sure that doesn't happen. Slow SHIN down. Oof. Bleeds out a Marine. It does bleed out Marines here. ByuN has to get the hell out of here. Some messy trades. Messy. Shin comes in from behind. Nice aces. Oh, the fungal though. Oh god, he gets caught out. Yeah, massive fungals here. The army gets caught. Whilst they don't connect with the tank. Miscontrol. Yeah, miscontrol there by Shin. That tank should have gone down. That's still a little bit concerning here. Shin, I believe he has 2. Yeah, he has 2 more fungals, almost 3. 2 currently. Does not want to waste them. Shin just confirming the army in position. Oof, one infestor goes down. Nice pick up. Very nice pick up out of ByuN. The fungals though, once again. Oh my god, massive piles. You see ByuN his bio army just plummets. Takes the piles to the face, but he does retain the tank count. 2 of the tanks are stacked. Meanwhile, very nice in counterattack. Alas, ByuN does have reinforcements. Lings are deflected. No major damage. Does at least cause a distraction. And here come the ultras. As you mentioned, the win condition for Shin. Hive tech into ultras. That is his win condition. And he's almost there. And again, ByuN failed to do any meaningful damage before Hive Tech, before Ultras. He failed to punish. The Ultras are here. ByuN does move in. Moves in, clears up creep. Shin collapsing the Marines. He's keeping up, and here comes a counterattack. Here comes the main push. Ooh, getting into with the tank. One tank goes down, fungal lands. The other tank does get biled. So far, good trades here by Shin. The armor shred is helping against those ultras, but the fungals are connecting. Ooh, that was the final fungal. Yeah, that was the final fungal. I believe ByuN will hold. Yeah, ByuN is holding on here. Again, it was just a very nice armor shred on the ultras. And Shin has to back up. He has to back up. He has to retreat. Now, what did Shin achieve with this? He didn't really get much economic damage, but he did reset the army. For the most part, he was able to trade very well against the bio army, against the tanks. So I'm concerned here about the follow-up push. In my mind, ByuN is going to have less to defend this time. Likewise, it also means that Shin won't have as many fungals available with the main fight. That is true. But losing those 4 ultras, I mean, that does hurt. So ByuN, he's going to be able to stabilize. Really stabilizing. That push ideally had to end the game. That had to end the game, and Shin, he failed to kill. Now Shin's ultra count is very low. Nice. Oh no, he gets in! No, he gets into the natural. Yeah, a little bit messy there from ByuN, but he does get into the natural base, catching reinforcements, and Lings they split off into the 3rd. But again, it was a messy run by here by Shin. Doesn't get the eBay. Oh, does he? Oh, he does. Okay. Takes down the eBay. This was a lot of Zerglings though. A lot of Zerglings go down. Now we built up back up to 6, soon to be 7 ultras. So now we have a healthy ultra count. The infestor count I still believe is either 1 or 0. 1. Okay, 1 infestor. 3 more on the way. And you can see that it's taking time for Shin to recover. Like Shin, it's taking him a long time to rebuild that army. And because it's taking Shin so long, ByuN is able to rebuild. ByuN is remaxed. Yeah, Shin's in trouble. Ultra's getting caught out. Oof. And mine's just going up. Armor shred on the ultras once again. And the ultras are just melting here. Oh my god, that's what, 3 ultras going down. Expensive losses there for Shin. Expensive losses. And again, ByuN he's weathered the storm at this point. Like, he's weathered through the storm. That big power spike was when the ultras first hit, and that came and went. We have some drop lords on the way. Now SHIN can still make this work, but it's gonna be difficult. It will be difficult here. He is relying on those fungals. If they land, I mean, hey, SHIN can pull this off. Turrets are being thrown down. ByuN getting ready for the Dream Drop. That one Raven has done so much for ByuN. That's the third anti-armor missile. That's the third armor shred, always on the ultras. Every time. Unironically, that Raven has been a big part of the defense for ByuN each moment. All three pushes. All three engagements. He's been able to shred the armor on every single ultra. Or most of them, I should say. Turrets are in position. Drop is denied. Oof. SHIN throwing away supply. And again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for ByuN. As on the horizon, ByuN, we're going to be able to get into ghost production. There's no ghosts yet, but they should be on the horizon here. To the point where we should now be seeing an academy. There it is. And there's the academy. Yo, he's listening to the stream. He's like, oh yeah. True. Academy would be good. But ByuN now he's throttled up. He's got his sensor towers. There's missile turrets. Planetaries. 5 more CCs on the way. Nice catch with the Corruptors. At this point, again, the era for Ultras has come and gone. We do need the Broodlords instead. You get ready for the Broodlord switch. Corruptors do telegraph that, so ByuN in the back of his mind should now be aware of the potential of Broodlords. That's why the Ghost switch needs to happen soon. Need to see it soon here. Oh. SHIN tries to get it in once again. Another armor shred on the ultras. Banelings get into the mineral line. Not bad. Planetary goes down. Yeah, breaks the planetary. Catching out some of the bio. And this is where the ball starts rolling a little bit here. In favor of SHIN. Where, hey, for the first time in a long time, he kills the base. Actually, for the first time, period. Oh, but he'll lose one as well. Yeah, he will lose this. There's a scan. A mineral line goes down. There are Corruptors, though. We can try to catch out the drop at least. That's the entire base falling, and SHIN's distracted as well. Yeah, no pickup, no save. That was a brutal loss for SHIN. And again, this is just giving ByuN time. For what? For ghosts. Now he has 7. 7 ghosts are up. He's got 4 more ghosts on the way. Soon to be 11. 11 ghosts. Cloak is in production. ByuN is refining his army. And SHIN, once again, should be targeting the center base. He commits. Nice micro shrouds. Throws on the shrouds. Tries to get into the bases. Banelings, they do connect with some of the ghosts. That was what made me... Oh, the fungal though. Oh my god. Fungal connects, but it's going to be a rough trade. Does catch out a good chunk of ghosts. The infestors, they get thrown away as well. We're getting messy. We're getting very, very messy here. On the one hand, SHIN, he takes down 9 ghosts. On the other hand, it did cost him all the ultras and the infestors. SHIN has done it. SHIN, he's done it. If we can keep these Corruptors alive, bam, Broodlord switch. Ooh, gets a CC. Takes down the command center, pulls away. Remember, the Greater Spire is done. Is this a moment for Broodlords? I would say this should be it. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Unfortunately, SHIN, he already was making supply and spending supply on things, so he doesn't have the supply to morph in all the Broodlords, but at least 4, it's okay. It's okay. But that was it, right? That was the game-winning fight for SHIN. He broke the expansion. He caught all the ghosts with the fungal. And now here comes the 1-2 punch. Here comes the second wave. This time with Broodlords. Ideally, SHIN wants to bait the ghosts forward. He wants the ghosts to expose themselves. Oh. Yeah, as the ghosts move forward, the ultras they commit. Oh, Mind Shot's going to be going up. And can we break through? Can we get on top of the ghosts? Oh god, the Banelings are choking up. Yeah, the Banelings are choking up. Massive tank shots on the Banelings. The choke one was brutal, and there's not really much of a follow-up here, even with the Infestor being burrowed. Yeah, that was not worth it for SHIN. SHIN, he gets a mineral line, but he fails to get on top of the ghost this time. No fungal lands. Final Broodlord ghost. Oh god, that was expensive. And that was so expensive to the point where SHIN has no gas. SHIN, he burned through his bank. He does have minerals available, but he has no gas. And that is hurting. There we go. Now SHIN notices. He's like, oh, I need some gas geysers. So that was a really rough fight for SHIN. ByuN, can he stabilize? Again, if given time, he will. Given time. SHIN pokes in. ByuN's in position. At this point, the best that SHIN can hope for is to starve ByuN out. At this point, I don't really see SHIN winning an engagement and pushing into the base and breaking the position anymore. At this point, I feel like SHIN's best chance is contain ByuN on these 5 bases, because ByuN is running out of money. Like he's slowly running out of money. SHIN is taking more bases. As I say that, he may lose one. Bleeds out a queen, bleeds out a drone. Banelings once again, they try to collapse on top of the ghosts. Oof. Quite able to. But the best opportunities for SHIN may be this, in the sense that ByuN, he wants to break, he wants to expand. ByuN, he wants to expand, he wants a base. Whether it's top left or center right, one of those 2 bases will eventually belong to ByuN, or at least he hopes that's the case. It looks like ByuN is focusing on top left. So he's focusing on top left. And it's on SHIN to just maintain his position and wait for ByuN to expose himself. I was going to say at this point it may be wise for SHIN not to push into these positions. But he's once again trying to bait out the army. Oh, gets a ghost. He gets 1. He gets 2. Takes on 2 ghosts, and he does get 3. 3 ghosts go down and cleans up some of the tanks. He has 3 tanks going down, and he does not break the expansion. Oof. So my concern here is that now he's triggering a counterattack, and can he stop ByuN from taking out top left? Oof, massive snipes. He cannot. He cannot stop ByuN. And this is SHIN being punished for pushing. Yeah, he's going to be punished. He will lose the army and lose the base. And suddenly, this one big mistake from SHIN is gonna allow ByuN to expand. Yeah, ByuN takes on top left. Now he can expand here at the same time, pushing bottom right. SHIN thankfully does react to the bottom right army in time. Now, I will say, thankfully, SHIN was mining from this expansion, so he has already taken a lot of resources away from that base. But that's still ByuN's next expansion that he wants, of course. He wants it. Like how today's quotes are just plans? True. It's you know, it's what they're gonna do. Esteban's playing football. ByuN is getting chicken. True. As ByuN does try to come into the planetary, and he will bring it down this time. Oh my god, thanks to the caustic spray. Brings down the base. This was a better trade here for ByuN, and sorry, for SHIN, and ByuN takes bottom right. I mean, now what's scary here, I was going to say that top left, if ByuN takes it, it's okay for SHIN because SHIN did mine out most of top left, but this center right base, SHIN did not saturate properly. So there's a lot more resources available here, and ByuN, if he can claim that expansion, I mean, that is a huge win for ByuN. SHIN, you can't let that happen. He moves in, gets a mineral line, and a CC potentially. Like 3 volleys. Oh, one of us, he gets it. Barely does. But again, this is what matters here. Fresh base, essentially. Fresh base here. And that's on SHIN for not prioritizing saturation of that base earlier. It wasn't like ByuN was pressuring that expansion, not at all. So could have been taken sooner. And this will keep ByuN powered for quite some time. Pressure's on SHIN. Catching us submarines, not bad. There's a planetary alongside the base. SHIN was the plan. Now, he knows a couple of things here. Center right is the most important base for ByuN. That is true. So, technically, that means that ByuN should have most of his army positioned there to defend it. It does mean that maybe SHIN can find an opening here in the center. You can see he's going for a Doom drop in towards the natural. So there might be some openings elsewhere. That is the hope for SHIN. It's the hope. SHIN is looking to drop into the base. It is a risk. But it's a risk that SHIN has to take now, because SHIN is going to be out produced soon. Oh no, ByuN's in position! Oh my god, massive snipes! Catching the Ultra as well. The Ultralist goes down. Heavy losses for SHIN. SHIN pushing in. Nice EPs. Yeah, nice EPs on the Vipers. Bailey's, they do try to collapse on the main army. Oof, he cannot push into the tanks though. Can he get the CC? Oh, he might be able to. One more volley. Does get it. But again, these were expensive losses for SHIN. He lost a lot of ultras there. And once again, that triggers a counterattack that SHIN cannot defend. Oof, and he's gonna lose another base. Oh god. Jesus, SHIN making 16 Broodlords. Okay. 16 Broodlords has potential. Has potential here. Thankfully, there are no Vikings. There are no Vikings. The low infestor count is concerning. Usually, infestors are necessary here to punish the ghosts. Without them, there is no clear punish. Lings, they delay some mining. Broodlords are moving in. There's a couple of overseers with the main army. Okay, there's a scan. The army's getting caught. And ByuN has to get the hell out of here. He has to get the hell out of here. He will lose tanks. 1, 2, 3 tanks and 2 ghosts. So far, a good start for SHIN. Good start. And we're going to keep going. This is it. This is SHIN's moment here. The massive Broodlord switch. Does the Ducklings Liberators. Does dive on top of the tanks. Sorry, does dive on top of the ghosts. He's chasing. Oh, doesn't quite chase him down. Ghosts, they make it out, but the base does fall. Massive pickup here at the CC. It takes out the command center, and SHIN, I think he's done it now. Yeah, this one he has done it. Whew. Was an intense back and forth here with ByuN finally expanding, taking some fresh bases. But SHIN, he had a large enough bank here for the Broodlord switch, and ByuN was not ready for this. Yeah, not ready for the mass Broodlords. Broodlords, they keep pushing forward, they're getting on top of the ghosts. There's 4 ghosts left, and GG gets called, and SHIN will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. SHIN will take a lead in the series. And again, it was quite an intense one here. ByuN, he was locked down on a low base count for a long time, but he did fight hard, and we saw SHIN take some rough fights. We saw SHIN like 2-3 different times take some really rough fights, which allowed ByuN to break out, to punish the bases and to cripple SHIN's economy in his own way. So there was that back and forth interplay, but SHIN did have a large enough bank to go for these big tech switches, and every single time, like, he was able to break out and break through and deal some devastating damage. The most obvious one here towards the end was the 16 Broodlord switch, where ByuN was woefully unprepared for mass Broodlord. GG, well played. SHIN will take a lead in the series, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Title Citadel. Now, when it comes to this style from SHIN, as we didn't mention, this is SHIN's go-to is Roaches into Ultra Tech. That's his go-to. Typically, you do want to be punishing this earlier on, before that before that Ultra switch, before that Hive Tech becomes available. There are opportunities, there are windows in time where you can punish, but it's on ByuN to attempt to punish that, to attempt to hit those timings, as he was unable to in the last game. Unable to. So here we go. Yo, I stand back. Bienvenidos. You're jumping into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the South Green Terran player, we have the Blue Terran, it is ByuN for Shopify. Bottom right-hand corner, we have SHIN, the Red Zerg. They just give you no time. They give you no time, but here we go. We're loading into game number 2, and ByuN is down in the series here, and we'll see if he can try to punish SHIN earlier on. As he mentioned, SHIN, last game he freely got into Hive Tech. He freely got into Hive, he freely got into Ultras as well. ByuN was not able to stop him. I will say that ByuN did survive the first Ultra timing. If you recall, it was quite some time ago, but we were praising ByuN's Raven. The Raven put in some work. 3 different fights. The Raven was able to anti-armor missile almost every single Ultralisk and completely shut down SHIN's aggression, allowed ByuN to survive, to defend, to take better fights, and to eventually get a 4th and get a 5th base. ByuN, he eventually was able to persevere and stabilize and turtle up. Eventually he was broken longer and later on in the game, but early on, like, that Raven was the MVP, it felt like, against SHIN's Mass Ultra. But this time we'll see if ByuN is more active and more aggressive earlier on this time. I feel like that's the best way to deal with this. We've been seeing players like Clem be quite successful against SHIN by going for these earlier and aggressive builds, punishing the Hive Rush. But we'll see. We'll see if ByuN does decide to take a more aggressive route this time, or embrace a longer later game again. But now, once again, Hatchpool Gas, later gas guys are out of SHIN, so once again, we're expecting later Link Speed and earlier Roaches. Those are our expectations of SHIN. Those are our expectations. And from ByuN last game, if you recall, he did go for a faster CC. He went 3 CC, I want to say 3 CC into Banshee, into Vanilla Banshee, into his Biostim timing. His Marines, they moved out like at 6:30, like sub 7 minutes, I recall. So now our players are going to be everything up. And we'll see if ByuN once again goes economic, and whether or not he does shift his builds. I would hope so, but we'll see. Oh, as no, my apologies. Are we going? Oh, no, never mind. There we are. 1-1-1. Okay, so 1-1-1 build here out of ByuN. Much more aggressive. Much more aggressive. Much more. So the Lings, they do fail to scout. I don't think that SHIN saw the timing of the starport. I could be mistaken though, but I don't think the Lings went far enough in to see the starport specifically. He did see the add-on sort, but that's all he saw. So SHIN is in the dark. SHIN once again goes for the fast lair. That is a 3:15-ish lair timing. So early lair. This time though, do you see what I see? Link speed. Remember, last game, no link speed. This time, link speed into lair. So this could be 2-base Muta. Okay. Now, if this is 2-base Muta, and if ByuN goes for a 1-1-1 Banshee Hellion, ByuN can punish. ByuN, he might be able to find some critical damage here, as SHIN will be lacking roaches to defend, assuming that this is a Spire. Usually with fast roaches, you don't get link speed. That's why I'm assuming Spire tech. Hellions, they pick in. Do they scout? He gets eyes on the gases. Gets eyes on gas geysers. Gets behind the natural base. Ooh, will be shut down. Doesn't see the main and show us that Spire. Again, that's our assumption here. We're looking at SHIN. There it is. There's the Mutaden. Oh, that's the Mutaden. There's the Spire. Access to mutas. Again, the reasoning for this and the reason why we expected this is because of link speed. Right? Link speed is a massive tell. ByuN should also notice that. If ByuN can see Zerglings with speed, that's a big tell that something weird is going on. As the initial Banshee does move in. Does break in, so far deflected. Nice defense here by SHIN. What I will say is that so far SHIN has kept the Spire hidden. He's kept it hidden, and even though ByuN has seen some signs, like right, he saw the gases, he so far has seen no roaches, and he saw the link speed. So ByuN, he's somewhat aware that something is going on here. It could still be 2-base Hydrogen. So ByuN does not have confirmation yet. Not yet. And remember, ByuN went for a late third. So now he's moving out. As mutas, they have hit the field. So far unscouted, so there's no turrets. No turrets in position. A couple of drones do go down here to the Banshee play. Okay, nice catch. Catching transferring workers, even getting a queen. Yeah, one queen goes down. Catching up 2 queens even, and the mutas are deflected. Oof. Now, this is where I'm a little bit concerned here. That's going to be 6. Oh my god, 6 drone kills. The mutas, they should have shut this down, but no, 6 drones do fall. Mutas, they get 0 damage done across the map, and even if the Banshees fall now, they've been worth it. They have been worth it here. Now, typically, Muta plays there is a surprise, right? It's meant to be that surprise factor and catch someone off guard and then go into mass Muta and just snowball out of control. I would say so far, the early game and the early to mid game has been in favor of ByuN. Nice catch on the Hellions. Over Marines, they hold their own. SHIN bleeding out a lot of supply, and SHIN, he cannot fight this head. Oh no, the mutas. Yeah, mutas are going down, and SHIN, again, he's known for his roach play, he's known for his roach into ultra, but this game trying to go 2-base Muta, he's being punished. He's being punished quite hard. SHIN is in trouble. SHIN, we got some slow banes to defend. And this Bio push might just kill, honestly. This might just be game. Oh, sorry, there's bathing speed. There is bathing speed, so there's a chance. There is a chance for SHIN. Fourth base is cancelled. SHIN is treading water. Treading water. Does poke out, does force back some of the reinforcements. And this is at least buying time, right? This is distracting. If ByuN was pushing, then SHIN could be dead by now. But ByuN, he's being distracted. SHIN is buying time, is nibbling away at the Marines. Gold base is on the way. ByuN still has the advantage, but if given time, SHIN can recover. That's only if ByuN leaves him alone, and he shouldn't. That's the reality here. He should not leave him alone. Catching out 3 tumors. Lingbane is still attempting to amass. But again, we do still favor ByuN. Again, they do pick up 2 Marines. Whatever we can get. 2 Marines, maybe a medevac. Ooh, Muta gets thrown away. Rough rally there by SHIN. Lings do get into the middle line. ByuN's out of position. Oh, okay. ByuN's out of position. Looks like drilling pool is going to be denied. We catch up more reinforcements. Drilling pool is on fire. Does he get it? It's going to be close. Do we repair in time? Does ByuN repair? As drilling clause is done in 11 seconds. Goal base is going to be shut down. Drilling clause is denied. And SHIN does deal some economic damage here, but this doesn't matter if SHIN can't get a 4th base. Yeah, SHIN, the goal base is killed. SHIN just cannot expand. It's just been a rough game from the beginning here for SHIN. ByuN's pushing. Penny breaks out. Oh. Catching a couple of overseers. And SHIN, he is slowly building up a supply. That is true, but it's still a very fragile army. So I mean, that's why currently SHIN is on the back foot. SHIN's army is just very fragile. It's very much so a glass cannon, and ByuN is pushing. As he moves out, so SHIN is likewise going for his own counterattack. Ideally wants ByuN to turn around. ByuN is still pushing. He's breaking into the bases. Ling run by does hit the mineral line. ByuN's not too far away though. SHIN collapsing in. Oh, we get some okay connections, but there's still so many Marines. Oh my god! Decent bailing connections. Oh, the Marines, they get shot down. The bailings connect. And SHIN holds. Wow, SHIN does hold on. ByuN, the splits were not there. Yeah, the splits were not there. The control was lacking for ByuN. Split, pappy, split. And SHIN is holding. He holds, he counterattacks as well. 6 SCVs, nice mining at the natural. And SHIN's back in this. For the first time in the entire game, SHIN has some momentum going his way. Going for another backstab. Takes out the turret. Gets 1. Gets 2. Now no mining at the 3rd. And denies +3. Oh my god. Yeah, +3 is denied. SHIN overwhelming. Catching out Widow Mines. Catching out reinforcements. Once again distracting ByuN. SHIN, he has some momentum. From here, he can work towards Hive, work towards Hive tech upgrades. On 94 workers. ByuN was forced all the way back home. Oof. So that's be careful there. SHIN's still going to be deflected. Again, SHIN, he's still going to fight the main army head on with his mutas. He's massing up more Lingbane. SHIN hasn't made any mutas in quite some time. He's still only on 17. Oh, just take a match to the face. Down to 16. A very low muta count. That is a concern. He's very Ling Bane reliant. Very heavy Ling Bane army. Is susceptible to mine shots, to micro. Flashing into the medevac. Should not get the Thor. ByuN is maxed out. He's now reached that maxed army. Now starting to push. Ooh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, SHIN does not have map control. Oh, you can see ByuN locking in. He's locking in. And the hive is just now on the way. Like, up until we get into hive. Oh no, not again. Oh, this is the mutas. Another muta gets thrown away. ByuN does react in time, does kite back. Ooh, cleans up so much Ling Bane. It's a lot of Ling Bane falling. This time ByuN does spread well, but oh, still gets cleaned up. ByuN is swallowed up. There's another kill on the hatchery. But again, SHIN's hive is so late, and with that, SHIN's hive tech upgrades are just now starting. Only just now starting. Very late here for SHIN. Ultra Cameron's on the way. Now, if SHIN can get survive until Ultras, then SHIN can start to take over the map. Start to take over. Oh my god. Even now, catching out 2 full medevacs. There you go. Catching out a couple of medevacs. So dive into the main. As from here, mutas are just trying to cap the production. ByuN just ignores it. Just ignores it. Moves out across the map. If Ultras are back at him to defend, then oh my god, massive shots! Massive Thor shots of the mutas. Get out of here. Do we have any Ultras back at home? The answer is no. Yeah, no Ultras, but it does come in for the surround. Very nice surround. Collapsing of the army. Thors will survive. One of them does. Lings collapse in. Okay. A good cleanup. Very nice cleanup here, and ByuN was committed. He will plummet in supply. And now finally, here come the Ultras. Whew, Ultra production has begun. And again, an impressive recovery here by SHIN. SHIN was on the back foot for the majority of this game. And you can see, yes, you can see ByuN getting a little bit frustrated. As SHIN was barely keeping his head above water for most of this game. Up until the moment, of course, where SHIN was able to collapse on the main ByuN army, counterattack across the map, force ByuN back home. We saw the moment where we had Ling counterattack into the mineral lines and SCVs are falling. SHIN now throwing away his mutas. He's done with the mutas at this point. It's time for the Ling Bane Ultra. And here he comes. The Ultras are coming. And now it's time to rake bases. Now it's time to knock down these expansions. As SCVZ will go down. Oof, massive connections. Planetary falls as well. At this one, I would say that SHIN's maybe overextending, as he will bleed out every single Ultra. Yeah, bleeds out these Ultralists, but GG gets scored there. GG gets scored. He still breaks through the main army, and SHIN will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the winners match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. SHIN will claim the series. And again, I'll be honest, for a good while there, I thought it was going to be an ace match. I was not convinced by the 2-base muta. SHIN, the mutas were not a surprise. They didn't deal much economic damage. SHIN, he was bleeding out mutas, bleeding out bases, bleeding out workers. He lost so many hatcheries throughout the course of this game. SHIN, he was struggling to survive, but he was still being very active. He was still being very active as he could be. He was still distracting and still buying some time. And of course, we did speak about the moment where he was able to collapse on the army and then counterattack as well, where he had the big lane run by in towards the natural and towards the third base. SCVs went down and he survived the main push. He was able to barely survive the main push as well, collapse on ByuN's army. There were a couple of moments where ByuN, if you remember, we did point out at the time where he was not splitting, right? He was lacking splitting. He was lacking the control there, lacking the micro when it came to the main army fight. Took some worse fights, worse engagements, and SHIN survived until Ultra Tech. He survived until the Hive. He survived until 5-base economy. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, Cure versus SHIN coming up next.